Hi, this is Charlie giving you Friday's live trading, and I haven't done anything yet. It's 8:15, so I'm watching the pound. The pound's going up a bit here this morning, but there's something just sort of keeps me away from going in on the long side there. So I'm completely flat this week. Look, got a completely flat account. So nothing open, no swings, nothing this week. So I'm just sitting here and watching these markets this morning. There's no news out, so and maybe the pound's going to carry on floating higher, and I'm going to miss out on it. But I've not got on board because of we've got positive momentum, but you can't really see it so well here on telecharts, but on e-signal we've got very much a downward sloping hourly 21 MA still, and so that's just made me a little bit cautious. But as it currently happens, the pound is going higher, and so I'm missing out on this move. So anyway, I'm sitting here. We'll keep an eye on it, and if I see anything that develops, then I'll come back on sound. Okay, just back, and still not done anything. I've been down the gym, and now I'm going to get quickly showered and changed, and I've got to pop out and run some errands. As we can see, the pound continued to is making some sort of waves higher on the 5-minute chart here from when I was looking at it earlier this morning. So yeah, it has gone higher, but I really struggled at the time this morning when I felt that the opportunity was there to really see identify that with that hourly chart being the way it was. So, and then you get into mid-morning. It's 10:30 now, and I'm not too interested, especially as we've got CPI out later. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm not interested in trading at all now. Haven't been at all anyway, and I'll look to trade at CPI. Now, one thing that I must mention is obviously the SNB, Swiss National Bank, yesterday and everything that happened. Now let's actually put this over to a Euro Swiss chart, and just to put it into perspective as to what happened, and we can see just how low it's been. Well, it's still lower now, but in the space of 5 minutes, it moved something like the best part of 1,800 points, 1,800 pips. Now let's put this into perspective. If you were trading it, I never trade the Swiss currencies, the Swiss. It's always been an intervened market, and so people felt that they were safe, but it was always going to be at risk that one day the bank decided not to intervene anymore. Exactly what happened yesterday, and so I've never really traded it. And so but if you were in it and you were long, for example, and you might have a 50 pip stop, it is quite feasible that you get stopped out for minus 1,800 pips, because it is effectively a gap when something like that happens. And this is why I stick to the major currency pairs, the ones that aren't intervened with, where this sort of thing can't happen. But anyway, so I suspect that there's probably a lot of traders out there who have probably wiped out their accounts, completely blown their accounts. Not necessarily their fault, because they might have had something like a 50 pip stop on, but of course with the illiquidity, that's it. Nothing the broker can do about it. Everyone's been stuffed. IG have lost 30 million. I've heard FXCM have lost $250 million on this. Everyone's down. Who are participating in these markets, and so most of the brokers have been affected, and right the way up to the big banks as well. So they've all been taking a hit on this, and so if you're a trader and you've had a massive wipeout, there's probably not a lot you can do about it. There really isn't. And so if you were someone who was short Swiss franc, then maybe you would be very happy now. But yeah, it's just one of those things, and the brokers, all they can do, and a lot of them, what they're saying, my broker included, they've been saying yesterday that, look, you may show that you've got filled at minus 50 pips, let's say, I'm using that as an example, but we may have to come back to you on this, and because that's just what the system's done. What we actually got filled at may be a lot lower. So this is going to affect a lot of traders out there. Anyone who's trading Euro Swiss. Now, you never hear me or Kim really talking about Euro Swiss or Dollar Swiss, because we don't trade them. And there's certain markets that we encourage and don't encourage traders to trade. It's why I don't talk about oil too much, because oil is a bit of a beast, and for the average retail trader, it's a bit too rich to trade. So we don't encourage it. Even though, yes, it has amazing, great moves, but on the flip side of that is huge volatility. And so traders want excitement, but what you have to remember you're in the game of is trying to make money, not be excited. So what you want to do is look for stable instruments in which to trade. And so sometimes, just because oil might be exciting and invigorating to watch and trade, that's not what your job is. Your job is to be as boring as possible, be like an accountant, approach the markets every day, trade the same currencies or same markets, wherever it is you trade, day in, day out, and get good at doing that. But anyway, nevertheless, if anyone has been in euros or Swiss or dollar Swiss trades or Swiss-based trades, then and I do empathise with you, but there really isn't. I don't think there's going to be a lot you can do. That's the market. The central bank pulled its funding, and this is a result. And you will have just got a hammering, unfortunately, and you're going to have to lick your wounds and come back to it. But I'm assuming that a lot of clients in our database haven't been affected by it. But by all means, if you have been, by all means email into us. We'd welcome what's your situation, what's happened to you, and see, because we can use it always as a training exercise. And some people may say, actually, this is what happened, but I have been stopped out at a certain level, so I'm okay, or whatever. Anyway, I've just used up a bit of time there, so I'm going to press pause, come back to this for the news at 1:30. Okay, just back, and I've got to run in to do some errands. What time is it? It's 10 to 11, but what I've noticed is something on the dollar CAD. The dollar CAD is up against a lot of resistance. It's had a little run up this morning, but it's up against a lot of resistance up here based on the daily charts. If I take you out to the dailies, I don't know if daily charts will show it. Yeah, it will. Yeah, lots of resistance up here. And it's got positive momentum, but not a lot on the hourly charts. So what I'm going to look to do with this dollar CAD is I'm trying to get an order in. So I'm going to better bring up dollar CAD first, haven't I? And so I'm going to put an order in to short at so there'll be a sell limit at 119.90. And then I'll put a stop above the highs. So I could get stopped out very quickly on this, obviously. 120. Oh, right. So there's one, and then I'll put a second one in. 119.90, and then a stop. Okay. So. Now, obviously, I don't know if I'm going to get filled yet, but what I'm looking for is just a bit of a bounce back up yet, which I think should happen. We should want to come back up to test, and I've put 90 in. I think it should probably come up a bit higher than that. Then I'll get filled, and then what I'm then looking for is just to sort of play around and then roll over. The difficulty potentially is that. We've got news out at 1:30, so I've only put 2 lots in there. But if it does get filled, then it could be one of those ones that I can run for quite a while. Actually, I'm looking at downside targets below this morning's lows at least. Anyway, so if I can get filled on it, I don't want to sell it just here. I want to get a better price than that, and I don't want to. If I'm wrong, I don't want to have more than like I said, about a 10 pip stop loss on this trade. So I'd rather. So that's why I've put the limit order in. It should want to come back up and test these upper bands at least anyway. So that's that one. And then the euro dollar, it's still got positive momentum. It's had positive momentum on the hourly charts all morning this morning, even though it's had a little blip down here. And I'm wondering if we're going to get a reversal at some point on the euro dollar. But I'm going to wait for the news to come out on the first before I do anything with the euro dollar. So I think I'll wait for the news on that one. But the dollar CAD, I'm going in maybe a little bit early, but like I said, I'll lose $200 if I lose, and so I think I can afford that. And where are we? Yeah, so I think I can afford $200 if I'm wrong. But if I'm right and it starts to, and I think even if I'm wrong, I'll have to watch this, because if it spikes up, takes me up, and then starts to roll over, I'll probably have to go in on it again. I just see the potential here for a half decent run down, down into the mid 119s at least. So, oh, there we go. I must have just been triggered because that's just flashed up. So I've obviously been triggered into the trade. Let's bring up the, yeah, let's have a look. There it is. So I have been triggered into the trade now. So there we are. Just got triggered in at 119.90. So stops are all in place and all of that. Now it's just a case of seeing whether it is indeed going to roll over. So I'm going to head off out. There's not really anything for me to do because I'm just looking for it to come, quite a bit lower. I'm not looking to acutely micromanage this trade. So I'll leave this alone for now, and I'm not going to be back actually until. Oh crikey! I'm not going to be back for the news, am I? I've just remembered I've got a physio appointment at 12:30. I'm not even going to be back for the news. So good job I've put this trade in, because I won't be around to trade the news itself. I won't be back probably until about 1:45. So I'll be back just a short while after the news. I've got to get my shoulder sorted out, so I'm seeing a physio. So okay, well we'll have to see then if this is going to work out for me. Right, I'll press pause for now. And in light of the fact that I'm not going to be around, in fact, because like I said, I had a feeling that this euro dollar may come up today, I'm actually going to put just a one lot trade in on the euro dollar. I'll split it into two 50,000s, and I'm just going to go in because I've got a feeling that we're looking at the momentum. This looks like it could want to turn here today up, so I'm going to put just a small position in with a stop down at about 25 pip stop down at 80. And so I'll put that stop in, bear with me, and with a 25 pip stop. So it's only a one lot trade. It's having to do it this way, it's not ideal. I'd rather be around with the news, and because we could spike through my level and then reverse and all of that. But as I'm not going to be here, I'm just having to do it, put some orders in. It's a bit like when I go into London sometimes for meetings. I have to put trades in and see how they're going to work out. Otherwise, I won't get to trade at all. So I'm going to put these two stop losses in, and hopefully 118.80 is enough. I mean, I could put it below yesterday's lows, 115.80. I could put it because it could want to come down to yesterday's lows, but really I'm looking to see if this is just a little bit of a in fact I probably don't even need to have it at 80. I'm going to move that up to 85 and put it below this low, because in fact if it starts coming down towards 80 then it should want to go lower anyway. So I'll bring that stop up by a few ticks actually to 85, and then so if I'm just doing it off screen, so I'll bring the stops up to 85. So I've got a 20 pip stop on that effectively, roughly speaking. What price did I get in at? Oh, 06. So yeah, 21 pip stop. So we'll see. I could be completely wrong on this, and the euro's going to completely roll over. Well, that's why I've only gone in with one lot. I'm protecting myself from losing too much. Don't get me wrong. If I lose on dollar CAD now, and I lose on the euro, then it'll add up to probably about £300. I can afford £300 loss though. So far this week, I've had really nice runs on the Aussie dollar, and I made my weekly target as of yesterday. So on yesterday's trading, should I say? So I can afford to give these a little bit of a try with some smaller positions. But they're smaller positions. But if they were to work and it just comes up, then I can probably run them for a bit. So that's the idea. Right, I shall leave you to it, and I'll be back later. Okay, just back, and obviously I was stopped out whilst I'd gone. I put that trade on euro. I put the stop at 88, didn't I, in the end? And so I got stopped out while I was gone, and so did the dollar CAD. Let's kind of have a quick look at that dollar CAD. I really thought that dollar CAD, I mean, it's had a nice run up while I've been gone. It's 2 p.m. now. I've just got back in. Because I could see that the oil prices would stabilise today, so I thought that this dollar CAD should roll over. So, which maybe it's still going to do. Look, it's come all the way up and it's come back down. So I'm watching this one, but I don't know whether I'll get anything more in. So let's have a look at the account. I've kept it nice and small. Look, so it was 132 on the euro, dollar, and the dollar CAD. If I expand that, you can see the two entries that went in on the euro, the two 50,000s, and then the two one lot trades on the dollar CAD. So I've kept it nice and small anyway on those today anyway. So a small losing day today on that. What's that? 50 pounds. Let's call it. Yeah. Should I carry on recording? It's 2:05. I think I need to probably get on. We are 15 minutes into this recording. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm out of time. I may still look to trade this dollar CAD this afternoon, but I'm out of time on the recordings. So we'll leave it at that for now. Stay safe, and we'll be back in touch next week.